Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Tisdale. I'm a part-time reseller on places like eBay and Poshmark, and today is What Sold Wednesday. If you're new here, What Sold Wednesday are the videos where I go over what has sold for me in the past 7 days. And this week, those dates are going to be Monday, July 3rd through Sunday, July 9th. And this week I had a total of 15 sales. 9 of those were from eBay and 6 were from Poshmark. And you guys, this week I had 0 donut days. So that means that I made a sale, at least one sale each day of last week, which has been fantastic because over the last, I don't know how many What Sold Wednesdays, we've had at least one donut day for the week. So it's been great to have a full week of sales. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Kicking it off on Monday, July 3rd, I had 2 sales. One was on eBay and one was on Poshmark. The item that sold for me on eBay was this Everlane 100% Human graphic tee. This was a shirt I really wanted to keep myself, but I went ahead and listed it and it sold. It did take a whole 10 months, but it was a really basic shirt, so there wasn't that much, I guess, grabbing people's attention for it. I just liked it because it said 100% human and it was just a cute little basic tee. But I only paid $1 for this and it sold for $22.99. And then the item that sold for me on Poshmark were these Tiva neon pink platform sandals. I knew when I saw these, them being kind of the platform style, that they were going to do really well, and they did. I had these for only 2 months and paid $3 for them, and they sold for $47. Then on Tuesday, July 4th, I had 3 sales, and 1 was on eBay and 2 were on Poshmark. The item that sold for me on eBay was this Eileen Fisher stand collar black jacket. I love selling Eileen Fisher. Sometimes it can sit for a little bit, but it's a great bread and butter brand that I will almost always pick up if it's at a reasonable price. This one did take 10 months to sell. I picked it up for $8.99 and it sold for $44.40. And then the first item to sell for me on Poshmark were these Free People Great Heights frayed jeans. I've had these for 14 months, so I did send out heavy offers on them. And even though I picked them up for $7, which I would not generally do now unless there was something super, loud or calling my name about them, I don't really pick up Free People jeans anymore. Maybe if they were $1, I would pick them up, maybe. But again, these sold after 14 months and they only sold for $14. And then the last item that sold for me on Poshmark on July 4th was this L Space neon bandeau swimwear top. I like selling swimwear, and L Space would be great because it does go for pretty good money, but it's definitely obviously better to have the top and the bottom. I got this one in a case of new tag items that I purchased about 1.5 years ago, and I think I had 3 total. I think I have 1 left, and so they've just been taking a long time to sell. The color I think is definitely in. It's just not having that bottom. I think that's making it kind of rough to sell. So this did take 15 whole months to sell, and I picked it up for $23.63, which is really high, but again, I bought this in a case. So what I did for that was basically just take the average of each item. So there were some really expensive dresses that are carrying the same cost, which may not be kind of fair, I guess, to this item, but that is the cost that I have for this item. They finally did sell for $28. Moving on to Wednesday, July 5th, I had 2 sales and they were both on Poshmark. The first item to sell for me was this Fabletics No Bounce bra, sports bra. And I believe I got this one at the Benz, but I've had it for right at 1 year, so it's taken some time. I think the Benz is the only place I would have picked this up. I don't have how much I paid for it. Again, I think that's why I picked it up at the Benz, because sometimes it does happen when I go to the Benz and I buy, these pounds and pounds of clothes and I'm going to inventory them. I forget one, and so I end up putting 0 for the cost because it's accounted in the cost of some of the other items. Anyhow, I probably paid $1, $1.50 for this, just because the Benz that I go to are a little bit more expensive than what they seem to be across the rest of the country. But after 1 year, it finally did sell for $23. And then the last item that sold this day was this Majorelli. I think that's how you say it. It's sold at Revolve, but it's this like orange salmon dress. I've only had this dress for 6 months, so it didn't take too long to sell. Majorelli, or is it Majorelle? I'm not sure, let me know in the comments below. I keep calling it Majorelli, which I feel like that's wrong. It's probably like said in a really fancy way. Anywho, some of the pieces are very hit and miss, so this taking 6 months really isn't that bad. And I picked it up for only $4.84, and it sold for $39. On Thursday, July 6th, I had 4 sales. 3 were from eBay and 1 was from Poshmark. This first item that sold is the oldest item that I had in my store. It marks the very beginning of my reselling career. And so apparently I've been reselling for 47 months because that's how long it's been listed. I think I bought it August 1st, 2019. So it's been a long time. I do not recommend holding on to things that long. This one was very small. That's the only reason I held on to it, because it really didn't take up room. It wasn't hurting it. I really didn't want to lose money on it, even though I ended up losing money on it. And that item is actually a set of 3 Disney pin sets. So back when I first started reselling, I thought I would try to do a little bit of like online arbitrage. And I bought a ton of stuff from the Disney store that were on like a really big clearance markdown, and some of it did really well. And these pens, I thought, you know, I think they were like 6 something a piece, and I thought, you know, people collect them, so why not? They're marked down a lot, so let's give it a try. However, obviously no one wanted these. There was nothing special about these, and again, I just held on to them because they're little pens that I kept in a box, and they didn't take up space, so it didn't hurt for me to keep them. So I had these listed separately for a while and they didn't sell, so I thought maybe grouping them together would help. And I mean, that's still been a couple years, so that didn't really work. All in all, I spent $21.63 on these 3 pens, and they only sold as a set of 3 for $11. So after fees, taxes, shipping, and everything is taken out, I am in the negative $17.53. So while I am happy to get some money back, it really wasn't worth it. I should have just, you know, marked them down a long time ago and just pushed them out. The next item that sold is another item I've had for some time, not quite 47 months, but I have had it for 17 months. And that is this Aiden Maddox sequence dress. This style used to be really in for weddings and everything, and it just doesn't seem to be performing as highly as it used to. I remember they used to sell out really fast. I actually wore one at one of my friend's wedding. I bought it, I think, for like $35 and wore it and resold it for over $100. But the style seems to not be quite as in as it used to. And this was also new with tags, so I thought it would sell a lot faster. But I only bought it for $13.49, and it did sell for $127.39. The next item that sold for me is an item that sold super fast. I knew that the dolls did really well, but I didn't know that other types of items, I guess, from this brand or this like character group. Anyways, the item is this Monster High vinyl doll. This one is the Skeleton Calaveras one, and it's just a simple little vinyl doll I picked up at a yard sale not too long ago. I picked it up for only $1, and it sold in less than a month for $27.70. And then the item that sold for me on Poshmark is this Zara hooded sweater. This sweater was really cute, and I think if I had taken better pictures or maybe was able to find like a model picture, it would have done better, because the pictures it didn't hang well and the photos just didn't do it justice. But it was a really cute cardigan, but it took a whole 16 months to sell. I did pick it up for only $2.30, and it sold for a very heavy discount at $13. And then on Friday, July 7th, I had 2 sales, and they were both on eBay. First item to sell is, again, one of my most favorite items that I have that I wish I had a ton more of. And if you watched any of my previous videos, you probably know what they are, but they're these ADI key fobs. Again, I have no idea anything really about them, but they're like kind of like a smart home key fob, and picked these up years ago, and they've just kind of been selling, you know, here and there pretty consistently. I think I only have like 5 left, which is kind of sad, but I picked them up for only $2.14 a piece, and this one sold for $99.99. And then the last item that sold for me this day is this really pretty colorful Athena Procopio. I think it's like a beach cover-up or swimsuit cover-up. I'm not really sure, but it was very pretty. Lots of colors, lots of detail. This brand is pretty high end, so I did pay up for it at $58.58, and it took 10 months to sell for $107.75. On Saturday, July 8th, I had one sale, and it was on eBay. And the item that sold for me is this Mervyn's Mission House. I think it's Santa Inez, and it's just a collection that was sold at Mervyn's, which no longer exists. So I was kind of hesitant to pick this item up because I am still learning hard goods, but I picked it up for only $2, so I thought I would take kind of a gamble on it. And it seemed to pay off because I sold it within 5 months for $92.80. Then on the last day, Sunday, July 9th, I had one sale, and again, it was on eBay. The item that sold for me were these Athleta Venice joggers. These sold super fast. I think it was only listed for a day or two. I picked them up for $7.19, and they sold for $50.64. Certain Athleta pieces can not only do really well, but sell very fast. And it definitely tends to be some of their newer style items that actually have the style name written on the tag. And it also tends to be more their athleisure wear, not so much like their leggings and actual workout gear or workout wear, like not really their leggings or their sports bra. It's like all the other stuff that tends to do really well. So my total sales for the 15 items that sold last week was $748.66, which is fantastic. I haven't seen numbers like that in a while. Still a little bit lower than what I wanted at, but I will definitely take it. It's kind of a sign of all the work and effort that I've been putting into it lately. And then the total profit I have after fees and cost of goods are taken out is $372.04. So doing much better. Very happy to see these numbers. I'm really taking it kind of as a sign that I am working in the right direction as far as what I'm doing with my business. It's also great considering right now is technically summer slowdown. So I'm just going to keep putting in the effort and the time that I've been doing lately in the hopes that it will continue to grow and pay off. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know how your sales are doing. Are they doing good? Do you find that your clothing items are selling good right now over hardware? Or your hardware is selling good over your clothing if you sell both? Because I'm just curious to know how everyone else is doing. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.